Good evening, folks. I hope all is well with you all out there as it is with me here. And I hope that my words reach you and work much magic into your life as it has speaking these words that I speak on this channel has helped me, just facing the truth, living the truth, um, and being balanced and not allowing too much things to get to you in this world because we're here for an experience. And in that experience, there's going to be much things. You're to know who you are. Knowledge is power. When there's people who don't want you to know who you are and have robbed you of knowledge of self, you have to ask why. Why would, if you're so great of a people, why would you waste your time robbing others who are beneath you of who they are? You have to really take these things in consideration and think to yourself. And then the answer will come where you don't have to waste your time on anything that they have to say, anything they do, or, you know, because these things have no validity. They have no validity. They have no weight behind them whatsoever. They hold no weight whatsoever. So come on in, come on in. Don't be shy. Don't be shamed. Don't just be bold. Be don't let this world and the thinking, the small thinking that makes up this particular society stop you from using your mind. Because you can look around and you can see that some of our people choose to follow in the ways. And I'm not saying that I have ways over here that I expect people to follow in, because surely I don't. But I do expect us to follow in our own ways that are proper for us biologically from getting these diseases, these sicknesses, these mental issues, having our babies harmed, placed in harm's way. We can talk about the racism and the racists. We know this exists. We know this exists, but for some reason, some of our people think this has passed. No, it would never pass as long as we're on planet Earth and people need because they lack. People need because they lack. And it's biological. We need our vitamins. We need certain things we need. We need food. So food is nutrition. You know, um, and unfortunately, we do need money. We need money now. But before, many moons ago, that was never so. But today, because of materialism, because of control, because of power, we need money. And that's a sad situation already to be in because we are in a state of, how should I say, a state where it puts us at our lowest points. No matter what, we try to be in our highest points. We try to be in our highest points, but it's hard to get around that we're in a low place in this world. This, not just us, but this place that all the beings that we're in now, and that is not our natural environment. It was man-made. So that state is what I'm referring to, that we're in a man-made illusion that pulls you into a lower state, because we're not supposed to be worrying about um, what they have to say, but because we're in it deep, we have to be concerned with these things. We're in it deep. We were pulled into it deep with them. So, although I'm not going to be racist today, because I know many people would think that I'm racist, but I'm just reacting to what was created for, against me. Before, it's one of many people like me. So, this poor child, people seem to forget that she was talking about this poor child that, for one, is not amongst his own people, and that, I got to talk about my own people for a minute here and talk about how we give our children over to wolves and we do things to ourselves. We allow them to talk us into doing things to ourselves, like, abortions. I've always been against abortions my whole life. And I'm also against, I used to be for interracial adoption until I think the movie that I saw with Holly Berry, Saving Isaiah, kind of woke me up to the hard truth that our children belong with us, in our community, amongst us, where they're not getting abused, misused, and misguided, and they're misguided into this world, through this world. And I don't see how any mother, Black mother, can live with herself on this planet, for one, murdering a child, for two, giving a child up just freely to the world, basically, through adoption, without even considering the things that we have to face. And if that child's gonna, that's torture. That is just allowing somebody to live a slow death. A slow death. It may look like a happy home. It may look like a happy home to some, but your eyes will deceive you. These two eyes that we walk around with is full of deception. And you best believe that. I know 100% people can get behind that statement. Because it just, for everything, you look and you may see one thing, but it isn't what you think it is. It isn't what you think it is. So we live our lives following in the ways of a demented people. That's a fact. I want to use my bottle that I shared with you guys before that destroys everything. I want to use it for a friend of mine because they're going through it. But because they're religious, they don't want no parts of the goodness I want to do for them in their life. The only way I know is to destroy what that thing that is torturing them. So I want to perform a ritual at the courthouse, in front of the courthouse, to put an end to their torment. I want to just spill this liquid in front of the courthouse to end their torment. But this friend, you know, doesn't want no parts of voodoo or anything. So that, witchcraft or anything. And a lot of people are like this, and it's okay. Be how you want to be. You know, like they told me, not everybody thinks like me, but not everybody thinks like religious people either. Not every We refuse to, because we learn our lesson. We learn that that's not, waiting on somebody, waiting on God. It's not gonna get it. Waiting on God, it's not gonna get it. It's never gonna come because it's within you. It's what you got to do. You got to do the research. You got to look at ways to alter the situation. You got to look at for ways to prevent things from happening. You got to really be, they talk about repent. Repent. What's repent? It seems like it's to surrender all. Well, why don't you surrender the ego, all of this stuff to yourself? Give in to yourself. That's power. That's not losing anything. That's power. It's not losing anything. Um, See, I could give a rat's ass what this woman has to say because I know what she is. I know who I am. And I know who this handsome little young man that is, in the midst of wolves right now. It's a dangerous world out there. I don't see how we, of all people, know how this world is. But we somehow got confounded into thinking that a smiling face that is white, that is bright, that is, that somehow you can surrender yourself to that. And it's purposely done that way so that you could. And a lot of us follow in these ways. Like divorce, for instance. We're so materialistic that instead of dealing with it peacefully, we become like Caucasian people and we're fighting in courts with lawyers for nothing. For nothing. We don't have no reason to do this, you know? We don't have no reason to follow in the ways, you know? It's not your nature. Black women out here, they look black, but they've been Caucasians doing the Caucasian way of life is to give your child up and thinking that you're a part of some system, a part of something when we know we're not a part of it. Why are we giving our children up? Why are we allowing our children to be taken out of the community? We got uncles, we got aunts, we got cousins, we got family members that can help. That at least we should have that. But unfortunately, yeah, the truth is we don't have that many times, So, like I said, I she's low life to me, and she doesn't know what she looks like. And for anybody to talk about anybody's child, they're lower than an animal. So she insulting monkeys because she thinks she's high on the totem pole and above a ape, a monkey, a gorilla, which she is not. She's lower than they have a higher IQ than her. And I don't, I've learned that it's not the animals' fault. The animals are beautiful. It's the people who push themselves from uh, far, far from the animal, and somehow they think that something in their skin, being white or light, somehow makes them different. And that's obvious because in this society they've been savages towards us. You know, she has evidently been a savage towards the people in LA, talking about, the way they congressionally handled the communities, you know. So that's what I'd say. We live in an uncivilized place because a civilized place would know that you have to treat people, and you don't even treat yourself well, so you don't treat people well, you know. This is what it is. She doesn't treat people well because she doesn't treat herself well or her family well or friends well, you know. That's just evident. That comes with the territory, the talk, the way, you know. So I was going to go over this article. Let me see if I can find the article I was looking at about her. Is it in my email? I had the article. Let me see here. I gotta get out of this. Is it in this news thing? It's probably here. I will find it. But you gotta keep your peace of mind. If you're gonna be in this society with these people, you can't. You gotta think more. There's no logic in the thinking that there's no logic in that thinking at all. You know, you can have a logical brain, but are you really, really, really thinking logic? That's what you have to think. And no, in this case, she wasn't very logical. And being illogical, um, is more than, you know, all the reasons why she shouldn't be holding the office that she holds, because an illogical thinker is not really benefiting the people, it's her constituents whatsoever. She's not going to be able to, not with that form of thinking, not with that form of thinking, where she's, it's very childish to talk about people behind their back, very childish, you know. And you know it says it all, that why I couldn't see myself living in LA or living in California. um it's just, I've dealt with their When you need help and you go to their government, you usually can't get the help you need. Everything's like um, I don't know, just you don't get the help that you need. It's very, very tough, especially, you know, I feel like if you black. So it did, it just, that's why I feel like we really shouldn't be, politically involved, at all. That's just my thing on it. Because I think we should take the higher road and definitely stop giving our babies to these wolves because they don't care. They don't care. And if they don't care, then why are we doing the same things over and over and over again? I don't see this child here is very young. So his parents or his people in the family should remember the little young black boy and his siblings that were with the two white women and how the two white women committed suicide and killed all the children they had adopted. That should be something that they should have been aware of to not decide to give this child up for adoption, you know. But they would say that this was a suitable home for him. I guess he's living with two gay men. I have nothing against what you choose to do in your life, but I just know that there's a right and there's a wrong. There's and there's a balance, and that you have to upkeep to stay sane. And it's a strong force that people have pulling them into the low ways of existing, the low ways of doing things. I talk this way because I don't care about the political, and I don't care about what people like her have to say about our race of who we are, because it was the same people who stole who we are. Sorry about that. I went out again. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet to say this. We need to get it together as a people. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Stop listening to what I heard during the game. They were talking about nipping racism in the bud. All of a sudden, of course, you're going to talk about it when it doesn't benefit you anymore. To be nasty, to be the way you are. But the whole thing is, who cares? Who really cares? You know, I know who I am, and it's greatness. and there's no one above me, not even a God, and that's great. They can think how they want to think, feel how they want to feel, believe how they want to believe. It does not change my life one bit. It does not make me small. It does not make me tall. It does not make me anything but what I want to be, you know. So it's less control, of our people is what I would hope for in the near future, and less, mind brainwashing, programming, because it's always going to be what it is. Don't let no one feed you the illusion that somehow racism is going to go away. Joe Biden said it best. Joe Biden said it best. And he said that the Hispanics, you know, when they leave, that's who we have to contend with, you know. But they also tell you to be black and brown people, and they tell you to do this and do that. Do they tell the Jews that? The Jewish, do they talk to the Jewish like that? No. The Jewish, no, because they're wishing, you see, that they were you. So you are unique. Don't let nobody tell you that we're all the same people and that we're one. The truth is, you were set aside differently. And, you know, majority of the world is the way we are. It's brown, black, you know. So that's the truth of it all. So the truth of it all is that no matter what the illusion that it's fed to us, we know the truth because we have to. It's said that we would be at the bottom, and the bottom is the facts. The bottom is the truth. The bottom is where we naturally will be in this society, and um, and that's due to the belief that somehow white skin somehow is better than the black skin. And you know what that comes from? That comes from feelings of inferiority because of the lacking in certain things. Those who lack are going to have the problem. Those who don't lack in anything are not going to have the problem. It's like you're going to be sick, have a sick mind, be sick because you're lacking in something. So you're going to have to carry on an illusion that somehow you're living in grandeur, you're better, you're this greatness, you're more beautiful, like white blonde is somehow more beautiful than brown dark skinned or yellow skin or brown skin. Somehow that is more appealing, that's more what people want to see. Somehow that's all an illusion. That's a mental programming that is not going to go away in this society. And knowing that that is not going to go away in this society, there's no way that I would give my sweet baby son or daughter up to anyone. And with that said, just think on that. And hopefully, change your world. Peace, and always remember true love, real peace, the higher self within, the soul that I hope so much that you are still attached with 100%. Till next time, peace.